Welcome to Season 5 of Inspired Voices. My name is Riera, and this is Zaklina Claudia.
Hello. Yeah? I'm so excited to be here.
Absolutely. For those of you who don't know, you were on the podcast before. It was Season 4, Episode 18, for those of you who want to watch it again. I'll link that below as well. So yeah, thank you. Welcome back.
Yeah, thank you so much. That was an exciting podcast. I loved it, even though I wasn't, it was on the fly and raw, and I think a lot of people love that as well. So
yeah, I thought it was great as well, and I appreciate for you doing that and coming back and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
For today's topic is going to be about money mindset, right? So we're going to talk about the 3 mistakes, some good habits to have, and how to manifest money, pretty much.
Oh, I love digging into this topic.
Yeah. So why don't we start off with, just because you were on a podcast before, but like for those of you who haven't watched it, why don't you tell them a little bit about what you do?
Sure. So I am a money and mindset coach. Pretty much, I guide people to the right people, place, and mindset according to their life goals and financial goals. So people who are, for example, struggling with having a balance, they get stuck in the financial cycle of, oh, finally I catch up, and then I'm back down because of a emergency or something like that. Or just to make daily life more manageable, I am here. I really focus on thought patterns and behaviors and use neurolinguistic programming in order to retrain negative belief systems. So that's one of the core things that I do in order to improve the money and mindset.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I mean, that just reminds me of most of my life, how I was struggling with money, always on that loop, and stuff like that. And then like people giving me bad advice, especially when it comes to like building credit or how to use a credit card and stuff like that. I got terrible advice. And it was the bank, one of the bank people that were telling me, he's like, how do I use this credit card? And he's like, oh, just spend all of it and then just pay monthly, don't pay off the whole thing. And I was like, oh man.
And then the interest fee is getting you back to where you just were. Yeah. And it's a terrible, terrible cycle. The thing is we don't have a class called money in school. And so we're put out there on our own, may it be college or whenever, to try to be financially stable and financially have financial literacy. Yeah. And it's really tough.
Right. Yeah. I'm still paying for it. So.
Oh, I've made all of the mistakes. Trust me.
Yeah. Now I know, and I'm still paying from the past, but I can't wait to like get off that, and so I could just like do so many other things, invest and all this stuff that I wanted to do.
Yes.
So, but let's talk about the top 3 things that people do that are really bad. It could be mindset, it could be the actions they take.
Yes. So the first thing I would say is that they spend on themselves versus pay off everything that they need to pay off first. So for example, let's say I get a paycheck. Oh my God, I'm ready. I'm ready to go out. I'm ready to have fun. Right. Like I got my paycheck. It's Friday. They spend on themselves instead of looking at their paycheck and seeing, okay, let me put this on the side for this. Let me put this on the side for this. And now how much do I have?
Right.
So that's something that can be improved on. I would say if you have a direct deposit that can deposit into different accounts. So one is specifically for your rent and utilities, untouchable.
Right.
And auto pay. And then one is for you. It's okay to spend on you. But if you're overspending and then you're living paycheck to paycheck, that's where you fall behind. So that's definitely one thing. Another thing I would say is the mindset. It doesn't matter how much money you make if your mindset is a broke mindset.
Right.
If your mindset is $1 million mindset, it's definitely different than $100,000 mindset, because you are limiting yourself. You're limiting yourself. And, you know, that could stem from how you were raised. Did your parents fight about money every day?
Right. Yeah.
You know, things like that.
That reminds me of, like, I have some friends that I see them interact with their children and stuff like that. And the children wants this thing, but the parents like, oh, well, we can't afford that and stuff like that. And I think that is kind of like is instilled in their brain that they can't afford enough.
Yes.
You know?
We learn from childhood, like, oh my gosh, this is hard to get, or something like that.
Right.
When money is a flow of energy. It's everywhere. It's endless. And we just need to look at it that way. Instead of scarcity, we need to look at it as abundance.
Right.
Instead of when and how can I get this money, you know, think of, I am receiving this money, no problem. I already know. Don't be scared. Another thing is, don't be scared to check your bank account. If you're scared to check your bank account, you're already inflicting that negative energy, like,
Yeah.
Same with mail. You let it pile up because it's bills and
Right.
credit card, you know.
Well, you know what I used to do?
Approvals.
Right? You know what I used to do with mail, like bills especially, is like, I'm going to donate some money to my electric company, you know, stuff like that, instead of saying it a bill or something like that. So it just kind of changes that. It's silly, right? But like, it
I
changed
love
that
that
mindset, you know?
It does. It does.
Yeah.
It definitely puts your life into a different perspective. And I guess you could say the third or fourth thing would be to look at your money space at home. How does it look like? Is it cluttered? Does it give you anxiety? How is your wallet looking?
Yeah.
Are you clearing the space for more money to come?
Oh, interesting. Interesting.
It might be a little thing, but your brain notices those things.
Yeah.
And so if you keep your money spaces clean, it'll definitely help
Bring in more. Yeah.
It just feels good. You know, oh my gosh, I have no more mail. I crushed it. Like I totally got rid of what I need to get rid of. It feels good.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to look at it
Right.
and be stressed about it.
Yeah.
So
Okay. So like, you know, in talking about that, I like your tattoo, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
On the sunshine?
I'm the sun in your sky.
Oh, sun in the sky. I couldn't read.
Yeah. It's okay.
It's curved.
It was my first one. So.
Nice. But yeah, talking about what we're talking about, you know, mindset, actions. I think actions is a big one, right?
Yes.
So like, it's not just believing mentally that you can have these things, but making room for opportunities to come in and taking action on those, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It won't change. Things won't change if they won't change.
Right.
So even small steps like, hey, I'm going to save $20 a week. Start small. There's an app, and this is not an ad. There's an app called Acorns that's like a beginner investment app, which rounds up your purchases. So if you get a Starbucks coffee for $5.79, it'll round it up to $6 and collect it. So every single purchase you make, by the end of the month, you know, you might have $100 or $50, depending on how much you spend. So
yeah, I could see
it's a little thing.
Those are little things that really do work in the long term, and I feel like, you know, especially I'm thinking back to my mindset and stuff like that, and how I have like ADHD and like it's like, I could save $20.
Yeah.
But I'm only gonna have $100 at the end of the month. That's not much, you know, or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's like this non-patient thing that happens.
I totally get it. I have ADHD myself, and you know, you have to be mindful, but don't be afraid to spend a little bit. I would say if you block off what you want to spend on and see it, like put it on a wall, maybe that'll help as well.
Yeah.
Like a whiteboard.
Right.
Have it down and put it in piles if you need to.
That's funny. Yeah, and then you talked about like the dopamine hits, right? Like, oh, let's go party, let's do this because it's fun, right?
Yeah.
Especially when you get that check and stuff like that. But what do you suggest to people who do that kind of thing, right? Like, what's the first step? Is it budgeting?
I would say if you see on paper how much you spend and write it out, you will definitely try to slow it down.
Yeah.
That's the first step. And instead of calling it budgeting, because that might sound stressful, you could call it wealth building. So that's a suggestion.
Interesting.
So make it a wealth building sheet, and you can actually Google search a budgeting sheet and try to screenshot it and work on it, and it'll list all your spendings from everything about the car, even a haircut, things like that.
Yeah.
Write it out, see your total, and total how much you make per month. Look at your bank statements the last 3 months, average it, and then put that minus that equals that's how much you have left.
Right.
And think about what can you shift around? What do you really need? Do you really need all the things like Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime? Are you watching every single?
But then some people would say that, oh, those little things aren't going to make me, pay off this debt or get to a certain amount or something like that.
Yeah, no, but it could be extra gas.
Yeah.
It could be an extra meal.
Right.
Something that's maybe a little bit more important when you need it and you're running out. That would be helpful.
So that's two things right there. I mean, we could talk about like the first three things people should consider, right? So wealth building, right?
Yes.
AKA budgeting.
Yes.
And then what was the second one? It was
shift things around.
Shifting things around, right?
Yeah.
Would that be kind of like the second thing that
I would say so.
Do?
Yes. Yeah. Shift things around. What can I maybe spend here instead of here?
Right.
And then shifting around already seems like a win, an accomplishment to yourself. So that would be the second thing. The third thing is set up your things on auto pay. Some people can't because they are afraid that they will not have enough.
Right.
If so, set an alarm to call the company and say, hey, I need a little bit more time. Most people are not thinking about calling and asking for an extension.
Yeah.
But that could really help.
That's true.
So if it's a Wi-Fi, if it's a Spectrum bill or whatever your internet company is, maybe that's something that could be on auto pay because it's not a high payment.
Right.
And, maybe your car payment is a little bit high. See what you can do. Can you refinance? Can you call for an extension? And that way, have everything else that you can on auto pay, and that's a start.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's a really good idea. I think those three things especially are like the key foundation things, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, my financial life really didn't change until I started budgeting, right? And like now I think it's fun.
Yeah.
It's like, ooh, where do I put this or where do I put that and stuff like that. And even though I'm still paying off debt, I'm still like fixing my past and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's still like, it's at a point now where it's like, I don't really have to worry.
Right.
Every single month, I don't have to worry about that bill coming in and stuff like that. So
such a great feeling.
Yeah, it really is.
Such a great feeling.
And I think putting in that work.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, putting in the work because it's a decision. I'm ready is a decision. Other people are like, I'm not ready, but it's because you are deciding not to be.
Yeah.
So it's really about the mindset, I would say, so that money isn't just feeling like it's slipping through your fingers.
Yeah, absolutely. I think people get caught up in like, oh, it's not a high priority right now or something like that. It's never going to be a high priority unless you start it, and then realize how high of a priority it is.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter how much money you make if you're spending the same amount of money. So you need to make money, save money, have your money make money.
Yeah.
So if you want to make those 3 simple things as the rules, make it that.
I like that. I like that a lot. So what are some good habits to have for some people to have?
For some people to have, be aware of how much money you have.
Everyone to have. Really.
Yeah, everyone to have. So good habits for people to have are, number 1, the way you speak about money and think about money. You are an existing set of affirmations. So saying, I'm broke, or I can't do this, I can't have this, there's no way. You are teaching yourself that consistently. And sometimes, yes, it's from the past, but it's on you to reframe that and do the work.
What are some examples of good framing?
I would say, I may not be able to have this right now, but I will. Or I am worthy of this amount of money. I may not feel like it right now, but I am. Money is everywhere.
Yeah.
Money is flowing to me. Whatever you need to say.
Yeah.
Listen to affirmations at night on YouTube. That's a good habit to have.
Yeah.
Also, like I said, cleaning out your money spaces. Make sure that you have a room for money to come in.
Right.
Another thing I would like to do is, for example, if you found a wallet on the ground, what do you find in it?
Money.
How much money do you find in it?
$100.
See? So that is evaluating your mindset right there. How much, if your friend found a wallet, how much does he see inside?
Probably like $20.
How different is that?
Right. Yeah.
Where is his mindset at? Where is your mindset at?
Yeah.
Interesting, right?
But then, like, do you keep the wallet or do you turn it in? No.
That's another part of your mindset. Well, it identifies where you're at right now.
Right.
What kind of person are you right now?
Your values.
Your values. And what kind of person are you, but not at this moment? What person are you trying to become?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I get that. Yeah. It's like sometimes, like, for example, the wallet, right? So, like, do you turn it in or do you keep it? And I think with my mindset is I'll turn it in, give it back to the person, but keeping in mind that, like, this is a good thing.
Yeah.
And it's going to come back to me tenfold.
yes, same.
Yeah.
Same. And some people would take out that $20 because, again, scarcity mindset. It's $20, but they need it so badly.
Right.
So ask yourself that. Check in with yourself, weekly, daily. Where are you at?
Yeah, that's a good.
And try to change it to, oh my gosh, I don't have anything in that wallet, but I know that card has $1 million.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I like that. And then like this is all for someone who hasn't done it. It's all trying new things, right?
Yes.
But what are other new things that people could try?
They could try tapping. Oh. Have you ever heard of that before?
Yeah.
Yep, they could tap in and say, I am really worthy of wealth. They could do all the 7 energy points when they tap, which we can dig into that at another time. But it's something that really works for many people that I would suggest. And I've done with my clients.
And then like for me, like hypnosis really worked.
Oh, yeah.
I know we talked about a little bit about that on the podcast last time.
I love that.
Do you do hypnosis? I forget.
I tried one session, and it didn't really work for me. Okay. I didn't get into it, but I would like to try again.
Gotcha. How do you? What didn't work for you?
I feel like connecting with the person that was helping me with it did not work out. I feel like I couldn't get settled into it at first. And then later I felt like maybe I was starting to get into the transition of sleep. but it didn't quite have the effect that I thought it would.
Right.
And sometimes it does take a few sessions, I would say.
Sure.
So,
do you feel like you're still thinking in your mind, like while it was happening, and that was part of the reason?
yeah. So because of that, I was going to try a second time. I had an emotional release session, so that way I can settle into it easier.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely the key. Sometimes I have to like meditate before I do a hypnosis session just to calm my mind down.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So,
Meditation is wonderful.
Yeah.
And that's another thing we could all do is meditate
yeah.
around our belief system on money.
Right.
Change our belief system.
Right. I know you work with clients and stuff like that on this, right? So
Yes.
like, what kind of results have you seen?
I've seen results where they found a new job that gave them $15,000 increase in salary.
Yeah. Okay.
I found a result where suddenly they were getting new clients asking for them. I've seen a result where they finally upscaled their charges
Yeah.
in their business. I've seen a result where someone just found money on the ground and a lottery ticket on the ground. I mean, it's a small thing. It's a small thing, but
Yeah.
I've seen that result. Mostly, the way that they talk about money is the biggest and best results
Right.
from all of them. And those are just a few small examples, but the way that they talk about it from when they started until the end is night and day.
Yeah. That's good.
And it's more of an excitement versus, oh my gosh, I can't make rent. What am I supposed to do now?
Yeah.
So it's really
Yeah, I know.
so
you
good.
gotta feel good about that, right?
I feel great about that. It's amazing. And a lot of times it's the heart wound that needs to be healed in order to move forward and feel worthy about money. Because maybe something happened in the past. They had money stolen from them. They were raised in a poor area during their childhood. You know, things like that is something that they need to heal.
Yeah.
So I guess that's another big step to improve the mindset is to write down what is still bothering you in your heart that could be affecting you today
Right.
and affecting your belief systems.
Oh, that's
on
interesting.
money.
Writing it down. I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't have to be money related, but what is it that's bothering you
Yes.
or holding you back?
Yes. Because in the end, that's all a core belief system.
Yeah.
It inflicts a core belief system. So
Yeah. And it trickles down to everything that you do in life.
yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, I appreciate you coming down here and,
Absolutely.
making it happen.
Yeah.
Hopefully it inspires somebody out there to kind of take a change in their life, money-wise, mentally-wise,
Yes.
and again, it just trickles down from there. So what's a takeaway that people could get from you?
A takeaway that people can get is start shifting your mindset by asking yourself, what are my fears around money and where do they stem from? And work on the heart wound there
Yeah.
in order to reframe your mindset. Try using affirmations at night or during the day that can make you feel more positive about checking your bank account.
And I'll add on to that, keep your mind open to new ideas, pretty much.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, because a lot of people are closed-minded on it. Like, this is how life is. I have to work hard to make money.
Right.
Not necessarily.
No. If you have a right strategy, it's
Yep.
golden.
And if you ever want to work with me to shift your mindset around money or with life in general, please feel free to reach out at wealthymindset@gmail.com. or you can go to my Stan store at stan.store/Wealthy Mindset Solutions.
Cool. And I'll leave that info in the comments or the description below as well. So
thank you so much.
This is Inspired Voices. I'm Oliver Riera. This is Zaklina Claudia. Stay tuned.